you brought something up that made me think about part of what you're doing here. So I wasn't sure what type of land you were going after. I was thinking, is it acreages? Is it path of progress stuff? Or is it like infill lots? But it sounds like if you're buying them off mom and pop investors, a lot of times is it infill, but now you're saying it's kind of all three. So what's your favorite type of land to invest in?
So infill lots are the fastest to sell, but they're just a little bit more effort to get because usually the infill lot owners know a little bit more about the value and there's less of them available. But one of our students last year sold 72 infill lots to a builder in the area at a $20,000 profit each without any marketing costs. So basically the builder told him what they want. He went out looking for them and just passed them on one after the other, made $1.4 million as a one-man show with one virtual assistant in one market, just selling 72 infill lots to a builder. That's a pretty good profit, right? So the beauty of that is once you find them, you can sell them extremely fast to builders because builders are looking. Even in the current market, where in some markets prices are going down a little bit, they're still in a range where it's financially feasible to build. And builders are still building because a brand new house will sell faster than an old house and so on. So, and if you can pass them on at a slight discount, that makes sense. But the second kind of property that is actually on fire is path of growth stuff. So basically 1 to 5 acre lots, 20, 30 minutes outside of town. They're actually very, very attractive to two kinds of buyers. One of them is future retirees, because a lot of retirees don't have enough money saved up for retirement. So if they're retire and they're renters, well, Social Security on average in the United States is $1,600. Rent in bigger cities on average is $1,500. So in other words, you can't live. If your spouse passed away and you're on a $1,600 Social Security, you can't live anymore. Like you're done. That's it. So what people do is when they're in their 50s, they start realizing that they're gonna run out of money in their old age. They're going to buy a piece of land from us that we put under contract for $10,000. Then we sell it for $50,000, but we sell it with seller financing. So we allow them to give us a $10,000 down payment, so we have no money in the deal, and then make $500 a month payments for the next 10 years or 15 years. By the time they're 65, 70, that thing is paid off. They own a free and clear lot on a paved road with utilities. They use mobile home on that thing, and now they have a dignified retirement. So that's number one. And number two, so any lot right now in the outskirts of bigger cities that allows for mobile homes sells like in a minute. It flies off the shelf. Like you put it up, you get swallowed up by inquiries about it. That's how hot that market is. And that second kind of buyer in the path of growth area is actually the work from home person. Now I work from home and I'm a city guy. I like to be in the city. Like I like to drive. This morning we drove 2 minutes to our breakfast place, right? And then we went to the grocery stores and we had to choose 5 grocery stores within half a mile. I flip land, but I'm a city guy, right? So, but there's lots of people. And whenever I do a webinar and I have, let's say 400 or 500 people on there ask that question, and you see hundreds of people going like putting in the chat box that they want that. Lots and lots of people in the United States would love to live close to the city, but not in the city. Like have their own 2 acres, build a house, have space for a garden, some goats and some chickens. But the point is, if they need to be in the city, they can be in the city in 20 minutes, right? They can be in the office even once a week. That is worldwide. A friend of mine in Germany, I'm from Germany originally. I'm from the southern Germany. It's like an hour away from the Mercedes-Benz headquarters. And a friend of mine lives hour and a half from there. A friend of mine is an engineer at Mercedes-Benz, and he can work from home 4 days a week. So he moved back home to my hometown, which is about 90 miles away from Mercedes-Benz. But there's no speed limit on the Autobahn. Just remember that. But so he lives about 90 miles from his job now, and he works from home Monday to like 4 days a week. And 1 day a week, he gets up at 5 in the morning. He drives up to Stuttgart. He goes to work. He spends for 10 hours at work. Comes back at night. So 6 days of the week he gets to be in his hometown with his childhood friends, with his clubs, with his band, with his all this fun, where there's a beautiful lake and things like that. And only once a week he needs to go into town. And I have friends of mine, attorneys, like nurses, things like that do telemedicine and things like that do the exact same thing. They live where they want to live and work where they want to work. And if they have to go to the office, it's one time a week you drive an hour instead of every day half an hour there and half an hour back. So that has become a huge market. And not everyone wants to live in a cookie cutter neighborhood with a cookie cutter house, the HOA, but the houses are only like 6 feet apart from each other. So this is a huge market. And then the third kind of property we focus on is actually larger acreage. So you said it all correct. It's larger acreage, what I call mini ranches. And those are also on fire. And the reason for that is that, I mean, they were always interesting, but up until 5-6 years ago, if you had a 20 or 40 acre ranch, it was a weekend getaway. You couldn't stay longer than the weekend unless you had vacation, because cell phone reception was almost non-existent. and internet access was zero existent. So you couldn't stay there for a week and work from there. But in the combination of work from home and internet access now, there's this little company called Starlink, right? You heard of them, and probably, or like SpaceX that has Starlink. So Elon Musk has created this network of thousands of satellites around the world that now provide broadband, high-speed internet access to anyone around in the entire world, which means that you can now be 2 hours away from any of the big city on a beautiful lot with trees, rolling hills, or creek going through it, with zero cell phone reception. You just pop up your Starlink subscription kind of antenna and satellite dish, and you have broadband internet, full-blown reception. You have Wi-Fi. You plug in, your cell phone works, your internet works, and you can spend weeks on that property with an RV with solar panels and work from there and really enjoy the outdoors. So this kind of technological advancement has completely opened up rural America, and these properties, they're off the chart desirable right now, and lots of people are looking for rural land to just have a place to get away from it all, but not be disconnected from the world. And that just 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that wasn't an option. But today, you can be fully connected there. And I know people that bought RVs during COVID and then got the satellite dish, and they're spending a month at a time out there on these properties, and then they come back home and so on, because they work from home and they're mobile now. And so really that COVID process of us working from home and the technology advancements that just came during the same time have really put particularly the path of growth and the rural areas on steroids. And that market has taken off like hotcakes and has never come back down.